little bit about James Kirkup. James Falconer Kirkup. He was born on 23rd of April 1918 and died on the 10th of May 2009. He was born James Harold Kirkup, which means he was named when he was born. The middle name is changed. It seems he changed it later. The middle name was Harold, so the full name was James Harold Kirkup. He was an Englishman, English poet, translator, and travel writer. He wrote over 30 books, including autobiographies, novels, and plays. He wrote under many pen names, including James Faulkner, Aditya Jha, June Honda, and there are many others. It seems that he took the names of different areas. He has so many other pseudonyms. Pseudonyms means other uh, pen names. So the list is quite long. So I did not write all those names here because they were his other names. So one seems to be Indian and one is Japanese, Jun Honda, and then there are other names also. So it seems that he took up the names from all around the world. So these were his pseudonyms. He became a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 1962. The Royal Society of Literature was founded in 1820 by King George IV to reward literary merit and excite literary talent. So, to encourage literary talent, King George IV had formed this Society of Literature, and to become a member and fellow of this Royal Society of Literature was a very big achievement for any writer. So, James Kirkup was one of those writers who earned a name for himself, and moreover he was people loved his writings, his novels. He also wrote plays, and so he became quite famous in the modern times. Now, just a bit of introduction for the poem. The title, No Men Are Foreign, means that no men belong to another country. The poet wants to say that all men are same, all men are equal. He wants to promote the concept of universal brotherhood. In this poem, the poet wants to tell us that everyone in this world is same. All people, all men are same. They eat, live, die the same way. Everyone gets the bounties of nature like sunshine, land, etc. in equal measure. We can all say that this is a peace poem. It promotes universal brotherhood. Now, there are some, before going on, I will just give you a reading of the poem. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this in which we all shall lie. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. It is human. It is the human earth that we defy. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. I've given you the picture of the earth and people all around it. All the people are alike. That's what the writer wants to tell us. Now, the first stanza. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. We have given you the different pictures of different uniforms, like the poet is talking to us about the different uniforms. So different uniforms of different soldiers. And so let us see what the writer wants to tell us. In the first line, the poet says that no men are strange and no country is foreign. So he is attempting to remove the borders from the earth which which have been erected to separate different countries. Then only no country will be foreign. We will feel every country as our own land when there will be no borders. Everyone will be free to move around. The poet wants to say that the entire earth is one, and all the people who live on this earth belong to one human race. So we must all remember that we have erected boundaries. We have separated the countries. God made the earth, God made this land and water and air, but we have divided all of it. Human beings have divided it. So the poet wants to tell us that we are all the same. Everyone is the same all around the world. Then he says that inside the uniforms worn by soldiers of different countries, the human being is the same. All are the same human beings. God has made all of us similar. All breathe in the same way. Then he says that all the soldiers are our brothers. We all walk upon the same Mother Earth, and upon our death shall lie in the grave in the same earth. So God has made us all from this earth, and we all go back to the same earth we will die on which we stand. So we all breathe the same way. We all are human beings under different uniforms, which means different soldiers that take up arms against each other. We are all the same, and we breathe the same air the same way, and then we will go back to the same earth we will be buried in. The second stanza now. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Look at this beautiful picture that I got from the net. That picture shows the air, the water, and the sun, and the harvest that the fields bring us. All of us are the same. We all breathe the same air, and we all have the same bounties of nature. They refers to, second the explanation now, thus they refers to those people who belong to other countries. We call them foreigners and discriminate them and fight with them also. The poet says that nature has given all the bounties to all people, also just like he has given to us. Everyone gets sunlight, air, water in equal measure, which means that God does not differentiate between people from different countries. We all do farming during the time of peace when there is no war. So, the poet is saying they are those different people, different, we consider them different, we consider them foreigners, we call them they. But here he says we breathe the same air, we get the same water. God has given us all in equal measure, and yet we discriminate against others. And we can farm, we can do farming, we can grow harvests on the same earth that God has given us when there is no war. We live a relaxed life and eat the things given to us by nature. Further, he adds that the way we starve during wars and winter time is the same for those belonging to other countries. Well, during wars, both the parties suffer, both the sides suffer. There is famine, people are starving to death, people die when they are killed, when there is no food, when you cannot, during wartime, you cannot grow as much harvest as you can. So, people starve during wartime, they don't get enough food. So, and so they say, he wants to say that foreigners who belong to another country and we both are the same. Then the poet says that even their hands are the same as ours. They work just, they work very hard just like we do. He is giving all these examples to convey to the reader that there is no difference in us and the people belonging to another country. So we are all the same. They also have hands. Their hands also work just as hard as our hands work hard. And they also starve just like we starve during wartime. So we are no different from each other. Go to the third stanza. Remember, they have eyes like ours, and that or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. So, I got this very nice picture of different races of different people. We are all the same. Look at the hands up there, the joined hands, but they are of different colors, yet they are joined. They are hands the same as the others. The poet asks the reader to remember something. He says that we should keep in mind that the people of another country, whom we think to be our enemies, have been bestowed by God with similar appearance like us. So God has best blessed us with similar appearance. God has given them eyes like ours, which open when awake and close when we are asleep. So they have the same physical functions. Similarly, He has given them strength, which we can win through love. So we can win strength through love. And by showing love to each other, we can be on the same side. Then it says that in every country, in every land, there is one common thing, that is life. Life means all the things that are living. And if we can recognize them, and if we can understand their feelings and realize that they are like us, then there will be no fights or wars between us. This is so relevant for today, dear children, of what has been happening around the world, of what has been happening. People are having racial feelings, discriminating, segregation. It has happened in the histories, segregation of the blacks with whites, and even now what have happened recently in USA, which triggered a lot of violence. So that all these things will not happen if people love each other and people consider each other equal, because God has given us, made us equal, and we do not recognize that others also have feelings just like we do. And if we realize this, there will be no wars. Even in our country, there is so much of discrimination against in the especially the caste system, that is the bane of our country, that brings our country down, and that is a big hindrance in the development of our country, the caste system. So all these things we must uh, put aside and realize that God made us as human beings so that we may live and enjoy all the bounties of nature, all that God has given us for free, so that we may also give love to each other for free, because God has given us His love, and God has blessed us with all the material things. So why should we deprive the others who are less blessed? Maybe we cannot say they are less blessed, but we can say if they are lacking something, we should stand up for them and recognize that they are also human beings and they also deserve better. So these fights and wars will cease to exist if we begin to understand with the feeling of love. The fourth stanza. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. See, very relevant. I think the poet wrote it so long ago, yet it is so relevant for us today. He said, we must remember, we are told to hate our brothers. We take up arms against each other, lift arms and ammunition against other human beings. They are our brothers, and this is what we do. The fourth stanza explanation, the poet says that we should remember that whenever someone tells us to hate a person from another country, to think him as our enemy. And whenever we think someone to be our enemy, then we deprive ourselves, we cheat ourselves, and we condemn ourselves. We say that we should stay away from such negativity. He says that we should not consider anyone to be our enemy. During a war, both the parties must bear the loss. And that is why the poet says that war is not in our favor. He says that whenever we pick any weapon against someone, we should remember that everyone suffers. This is what the poet wants to say. If we pick up arms and ammunition against our brothers, we must realize that we are depriving ourselves, we are cheating ourselves, we are at a loss, and so we are also the sufferers. So we should not do that. The fifth stanza. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange. I've got a very beautiful picture of this earth and the beautiful scenery of the mountains and the light and the image in the waters. How beautiful this earth God has made, and yet we do not realize that we do not maintain the purity and innocence of this earth, and we have defiled it. Let us see what is the explanation. We should keep in mind that whenever we pick weapons against any person, we make the earth dirty, because weapons kill people and their bodies which fall on the earth make it dirty. Whenever war happens, it leads to a lot of bloodshed, fire and death. These dead bodies accumulate on the earth and make it impure. This is the impure, not just the physical impurity, but also the mental impurity. The fire of war which erupts, the smoke which comes out, the dust which fills the air, it is so dirty that it pollutes and outrages the purity of the air. With all these things, the poet wants to give us a message that we should not indulge in war. Finally, he ends the poem by writing the first line in the verse and saying, remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. We must remember that all are the same. We must not be incited by anyone to hate others. We should remember that people are the same, they have the same eyes, the same physical features, no matter what clothes people wear. It is very contextual. In our country also, we have so many different races in our own one country, and if let alone the foreign countries we call foreign. But in our country alone, there are people of so many races, so many castes. How do we treat each other? And if people tell us to hate the other, how do we react? That is the big question. And we must remember that this is we are defiling, we are making this earth impure, because God made everything beautiful and pure, and we make this earth impure. Well, children, I hope that you enjoyed this poem. I'll be giving you questions and answers and the literary devices that I used in this poem. Please click on the Word documents that I am attaching there on the classroom. I hope that you will do your work. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment box and I will try to solve these problems in the next class when I teach you. I'll be teaching you class-wise from the next week, so I hope that you are ready with your questions. Well, children, God bless you. Enjoy learning.